Check this out, guys. So I was just watching Vlad's recent video here on this Keramikos site in Greece, in Athens, near Athens. But I had a revelation. Check these out. These are graves, tombstones, Greek tombstones. Do these remind anybody of anything? Anything else in the world look like this? I know of something, but it's all the way across the world. Chulpa towers. Look at that. They're the exact same thing. These may be copies, right, of whatever these things are. They've even got the little rounded top. See that? Little rounded tops on some of these. Let me skip ahead. There's a lot of these. A lot of different sizes and diameters. They all have this ring around the top though, and they all seem to, at least most of them, seem to taper toward the bottom. They get skinnier at the bottom, just like the Chulpa towers do. Now, there's a good example. Too bad these pictures aren't that big. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can find some more. They all taper, and you can see these are covered with nubs. Really random, sporadic. Sometimes I think they're unintentional. In this case, I think they're very unintentional or a byproduct of the processing. This one, for example. No, we can't do that. Okay. This one has a nub right there. I think this is a big connection, you guys, because these are also supposed to be tombs. If they were originally tombs, the insides of them look like this, stacked up. But look at the blocks and how interesting those are, right? Each one has a hollowed out portion. I don't know if the mating blocks had nubs to go into them, perhaps, or maybe they all have spaces, which is equally strange, right? And I believe these rubble elements might be, they might be secondary, but they could be original. I've seen a lot of sites that have rubble fill inside a nicely dressed, nicely built structure where it didn't matter as much, and it could be all contemporary to the same time period. If these were repurposed and this was just a hollow shell and someone stacked these up to create the tomb, okay, I could see that as well. Later peoples doing that, reclaiming the site. But then I also wonder about other anomalous features about these things. Look at this. The animal features, the animal depictions, well, it's not a high relief, but it is a relief carving, just like you see in Göbekli Tepe. More nubs, right? Really crazy, anomalous ones. This whole structure is entirely crazy, right? The way it is polygonal, and it gets back formal at points, but it's down here. It's really polygonal and swoopy, but it keeps its intended dimensions regardless of the irregularity of the construction blocks. Really impressive. And then other ones that are finely dressed, they're the same. Whoever is doing the puffy ones are doing the finely dressed ones. And this is why I think we have to look at these structures, the bevel block structures, in association with these finely dressed structures, because I think in a lot of cases they're the same people. One has just been finely executed and finished, and the others have been roughly executed. And when they're finally executed like this and finished off, it hides all the processing. You don't see bevels, you don't see nubs, you just see really formal, pretty stonework. And look, this even has a relief little image on it. And the relief images are just fairly, crude animal depictions, which, what is that? If this is original, which I'm going to assume this is original, just like this one, I assume, is original, then what kind of people can create buildings like this, but also have, I want to say, like a childlike idea of animals and depicting them and art? It's a very strange juxtaposition to me. That's just it's an odd mix. But these Chulpa Towers and Silistani, big mystery, right? And I've only heard Brian Forrester talk about them, and maybe David Hatcher Childress. Look at that. Those could be for lifting. Yeah, I get that. But for some of these other ones, no. And most of them don't have them. Even the puffy one that we just saw didn't have any nubs on it that were paired up or for lifting. Even the ones that remain puffy. So I don't think they're for lifting. But and I don't think I've heard too many people talk about these other than Brian. And all I've heard for the orthodox hypothesis is that they were tombs. That's crazy, that rubble fill. Just to get up there. Why? To put something in there? To make this a ceremonial platform? Later, I assume, right? And maybe this is the remnants of it and other towers around, right? So I really don't know as far as these attributions. But what do we make of this connection with these Greek things? What, that is more than just a coincidence to me. The fact that they are both grave marker sites, they both have the same shape, dimensions, motif. What is going on with that? So, just a crazy tangent I thought I'd show you guys today.